Hello, everybody. Welcome or welcome back to the Talk Podcast. Honestly, I never saw myself doing this, reacting to a clip of Ben Shapiro. I don't know why, because it's just very tough to comment under someone who's a very dominant commentator. I'm not really involved in the political line, to be honest, because that's mostly, I would claim, what he's known for. But I do see and follow here and there some clips, some general commenting. So let's go for it. And the reason why I'm using this clip is I've been watching it 2 minutes now, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And there's just one thing that he, started talking about that I felt, yes, this is maybe what I was trying to explain, but didn't really find the right words, didn't really know how to point that out. Two things can be true, two things can be wrong and right at the same time. And he's actually going to point out what I was, trying to go, but couldn't. I hope I did make my point clear. So let's listen in very careful. And the reason why this is so important is, yes, my channel, we hold people accountable. I hold women accountable. We hold men accountable. Okay. We call out things that are obviously stupid. Now, this is not pointing, bashing the person itself. But if it happens to be that person, it happens to be that person, right? Now, my stand on other takes, not even Bonnie Blue, but like women topics like this has always been, watch out, watch out, watch out. They are trying to sell you an idea, a lifestyle that is dangerous, that is not what it is, that has so much bad, to it, and the mental, like all the risk, right? At the same time, it's also important to point out certain men who want to sugarcoat this. They're not doing it, obviously, but they are exactly and especially just as much of a danger when it comes to topics like this, because they are going to lure you in with what you want to hear and pretend. But basically, they are just exactly the ones who would take advantage, who would, I don't know, let's just listen.
Some degree are sex work.
Ben destroys.
All women, to some degree, are sex work. And the reason I respect what Bonnie's doing is because Bonnie's making her own money with her own brains and being very honest and open about what she's doing. I respect what Bonnie's doing far more than the girls who have attacked me for rape charges, who got with me, asked for money, I said no, and then tried to put me in jail for it. That's
Well, if you remember, in some other clip, for sure, I've, somehow talked about this charges that he's facing, and I will still stand on it. That goes to anyone. If you are, someone is claiming something that you didn't do and it's not been proven, and you're drawn into a very consequential situation facing legal issues, jail, and more persecution, I don't think that's right. If it's a claim that's not been proven to be true, that is definitely not a nice thing to experience. But remember, in the recent clip that I talked about, this is someone who, with all the idea and understanding of what it means to be a high value man, and what it means to have, good standards, good morals, and what it means to have a functioning relationship, he knows those things. He understands these concepts, and he knows how to talk a good game around these concepts. He knows how to explain these concepts. Just because someone knows those concepts and knows, how to talk about them, doesn't mean that they really live that 100%. So at the same time, this is someone who's actually completely or used to be welcoming to women who would want to partake in such a lifestyle, right? So the same way he's talking about sluts, men don't have any good women to marry and all that good stuff, he's exactly that kind of man who would welcome women to come into his world, into that kind of world, because he's making a buck.
sex work, but it's just criminal. It's just disingenuous. I respect Bonnie a lot more than the woman who goes out there and gets married to a man she barely loves and divorces him 2 years later and takes half of his estate. I respect Bonnie a lot more than the women who are out in Dubai dating 5 or 6, 7 different men, just getting handbags and rent and all of this stuff and pretending to be an angel and putting boss chick working real estate on her Instagram. All these women are doing the same shit. But Bonnie's open about it. Bonnie's honest about it.
Even Bonnie Blue looks embarrassed by this rant.
Even Bonnie Blue looks embarrassed.
Which is shocking, because she does not have an embarrassment bone.
I can't.
The same shit. But Bonnie's open about it. Bonnie's honest about it.
Even Bonnie Blue looks embarrassed by this rant. Which is shocking, because she's had every other bone in her body, but she does not have an embarrassment bone.
That took me a slight minute. That was a crazy wordplay here.
And Andrew Tate trying to compare women who are getting married and then they have an intention of divorcing in 2 years. Okay, let's be clear. There are gradations of bad. And many things can be bad all at once. See, here's the thing. I have an actual moral standard. Here's the moral standard, right? My actual moral standard, a biblical, traditional moral standard. People, men and women, should have sex with people they are married to. And those are the only people they should have sex with. That was the standard for literally most of human history. So I would love for that to be the standard, but listening to Andrew Tate excuse his own degraded pornography industry, which he, again, engaged in. He was a cam girl. Okay, let's be clear. Does not have an
Instagram. All these women are doing the same shit. But Bonnie's open about it. Bonnie's honest about it.
Even Bonnie Blue looks embarrassed by this rant, which is shocking because she does not have an embarrassment bone. And she's had every other bone in her body, but she does not have an embarrassment bone. And Andrew Tate trying to compare women who are getting married and then they have an intention of divorcing in 2 years. Okay, let's be clear. There are gradations of bad. And many things can be bad all at once. See, here's the thing. I have an actual moral standard. Here's the moral standard, right? My actual moral standard, a biblical, traditional moral standard. People, men and women, should have sex with people they are married to. And those are the only people they should have sex with. That was the standard for literally most of human history. So I would love for that to be the standard. But listening to Andrew Tate excuse his own degraded pornography industry, which he, again, engaged in. He was a cam girl porn purveyor. Listening to him excuse himself by referencing some random girl who acts badly with men or excusing Bonnie Blue. Again, he's excusing him. This has nothing to do with Bonnie Blue. He's not defending Bonnie Blue. He's defending himself. People looking to him as some sort of honest purveyor of truth make your life worse by listening to Andrew Tate. Seriously, that should be the bumper sticker here.
So do you think you're a good role model for women?
I'm a clear example of what women have fought for years, of
What?
taking control of your body,
Correct.
being
What did she just say?
independent. I earn my own money. I don't rely on a guy. I'm
Girl
paid
power.
Exactly. I'm paid more than other
100%.
guys.
100%.
Do you think
She is a clear example of what women have been fighting for years. Absolutely correct.
And look, take it away from the two of them, right? Her words. She is a good example or a clear example for what women have been fighting for, right? Take that back to all the sexual liberation, da 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 da. Obviously, she's an extreme version, but her words, and now take it for the times that we're in and what, how things have been developing. Now, within this freedom created, this fight that she, in her perspective, and maybe even more women would agree to her, I don't know. Yes, they have won that fight. Now they can finally choose to do whatever they want to do with their body, good, bad, and ugly. Not to dismiss the reality of, okay, well, while you're doing that, there are going to be people, men, but to be honest, not only men, because I believe a lot of women are also involved in this industry who are going to come and take advantage of that because, oh, you've been fighting for this for such a long time to finally let anyone do the worst with you. Well, come over here. And they will then start using your mindset to actually sugarcoat the wrongdoing. They like my first clip was there must be some irony to this, right? But take it away from them. If there was someone who's looking to create, they call it business nowadays, to create certain business where women are selling themselves provocative manner to gain money and they are also gaining something of it, these men are going to tell you these things. They're going to be, of course you go girl, you do what, like they're going to empower you on that because it benefits them as well, or perhaps even more. And are we going to pretend that aspect is not real?
And now
I'm not going to sit here and lecture you about God. I'm not going to sit here and no, that's all bullshit. She is a clear example of what women have been fighting for years.
Yeah.
Women believe that they can do whatever they want.
Do you think they should be able to?
If women want to run around and do whatever they want to do, it's up to them.
I'm interrupting a lot, but you see his facial reaction. I'm not going to lie. That's a similar, I hope I'm not interpreting this wrong, but that's a similar facial reaction that I have. It's not just only disgust, but it's confusion. It's so hard to, listen to this, look at her or him. We're not sure. Joking. Look at her and, just, it doesn't feel comfortable. Even if you don't have anything to do with this person, she's not my family member, she's not a friend, you don't know her, you agree she's an adult, all that good stuff. It's tough. It makes me feel, I wish for her not to do that. And that's, to me, that's his facial reaction. He's like, oh my God, why are you doing this to yourself?
My point is, all women on some scale are doing what Bonnie Blue is doing. However, Bonnie Blue is just the best at it.
What a piece of shit he is, truly.
The best at it. Now, that is the part where people, when I'm saying consuming certain things and being mindful and listening in very careful. Now, is there a truth to it to say, well, the mannerisms that she has, the sexual behaviors that she's, having, there are women out there you could find who have certain ideas as well. We're going to pretend that doesn't happen. No, it does happen. People have different types of crazy fantasies. Not everyone is actually going to go out there and, play out those fantasies or those ideas or those whatever. Now, for him to say she's just best at it takes the whole danger, the whole prostitution, the whole negativity, just takes it away. It just suddenly, because that's if you're not mindful, that's the only thing you hear. Oh, she's so great. Look at her doing what she's doing, what she wants with her body, and she's actually the best at it. It takes away the whole danger.
Again, she's awful. And I will say this, she's not wrong that feminism makes arguments that lead to the Bonnie Bluification of society.
The Bonnie Bluification, that is so great.
Makes arguments that lead to the Bonnie Bluification of society. This was the feminist pitch, the third wave feminist pitch, not the first wave. First wave feminism was.
And I will agree that, yes, that if you want to ask yourself, is there some kind of background to this? Yes, I can agree to it. But at the same time, I so hard believe that with all these influences, agendas, all these things, it is going to attack quite a few people. But there is choice in life. Really, people need, I don't know, do we need to start reminding each other there is choice in life?
Was women should be able to work. Totally agree. Women should be able to vote. Of course, agree. Women should be able to make choices about marriage, and they should have children or not have children in a free country. Now, again, I think that it is better for people to have children, obviously. I think it's better for people to get married. Third wave feminism said something different. Third wave feminism said that basically we are supposed to treat it as all forms of sex are supposed to be treated as identical. The genders are to be treated as identical. Marriage is an imposition on women. And that the truest form of independence is you don't need no man because you can get paid for sex, would be a form of feminism. But she's not saying there what she thinks she's saying. And you think that's where Tate's going to go, right? But he doesn't. Then he says, no, it's fine with me if she acts like that. She's fine with me if she acts like that. I'm not going to lecture you about God or any other. By the way, does this guy seem like a religious Muslim to you?
Another thing that I wanted to add, when he started going down that route, the whole conversation is quite long. I only had like few parts that I took out. But there was an odd moment where this woman wanted to start a topic saying stuff like you need to go to high schools. And he was like, no, let's not go there. I'm, in some kind of lawsuit situation still. I'm being investigated. So that's another key point why people need to be even more careful on this persona, right? What are you actually taking serious? What are you actually taking as truthful? What are you actually taking as provocative? What is irony in all of this? Where does this person actually stand? So just a side note, I do not, want to go into any legal matters, not my position, but just a side note.
Seriously, that's what he says he is. He's a Muslim. Does that seem like that to you? Or do they seem like the values of a pimp?
When you see a man who wants to play with a baby all day, that man is probably
such a great point. That is another. Oh my God, this Ben Shapiro episode is just bringing me back to things that I wanted to, continue. Or so bringing that up. I do not think it's my position to critique or speak on people's choices on what they choose to, as a religion or path that they want to take. But that's a good point, and that is something Andrew Tate and so many others, where people in general, take it away from all these celebrities, less well-known trash celebrities, we don't know, but take it away from them, even average day-to-day people. I think it is important, we need to be more mindful that you would see someone presenting as perhaps Muslim, right? And they know all these good stuff and all these things and all these rules, but how much are they actually sticking to it? How much, it's questionable. And that just brings me to Brittany Renner. I have nothing to do with that person. I remember maybe 2 years ago speaking on a short clip that I saw, and I was definitely shocked. But isn't the situation now that she isn't Muslim anymore? Like, be mindful. People are going to take anything, whatever, to get into your mind, get into your emotions, manipulate the situation, twist it, get attention. They are going to vomit some things, and the worst part is within all the vomit, they're adding some notions of truth to get the confusion going. So just be mindful.
He says he's a Muslim. Does that seem like that to you? Or do they seem like the values of a pimp?
When you see a man who wants to play with a baby all day, that man is probably gay. It's boring.
Well,
So
it doesn't mean he wants a kid.
No, he's gay.